The laws surrounding abortions are becoming more and more strict. And due to this, women are losing autonomy over their own bodies. So rather than making abortions extremely difficult to receive, why can't we find better preventative measures so that way women won't need abortions at any point during her lifetime? Roughly 70,000 women die from unsafe abortions each year, meaning that they try to do it themselves because they don't have the medical means to get it done professionally somewhere. On average, 1 million women each year have abortions. So now let's say suddenly abortions really do become completely banned or extremely restricted, that 1 million could turn into 1 million deaths of women or fetuses or anything, and it could become extremely harmful. After a lot of time researching, I discovered how restrictive these laws are going to become on a woman's body and how cruel it's going to be that she can't make her own choice. But I also learned that there are a lot of solutions that we can take that we have not been taking, and there are a lot of different things that we can do to prevent these bans from being as extreme they're going to be. So today we're going to discuss the strict laws being placed upon abortion and the consequences of these restrictions, and then we're going to talk about the different solutions that we can consider. The problem here is how strict these abortions are going to become. Right now in states like Georgia, Texas, and Louisiana, they're going to pass a fetal heartbeat bill, which will take effect in January of 2020, which means that as soon as that there is a heartbeat that can be heard, you can't get an abortion. Yet, what's very controversial is that sometimes you aren't even hearing the heartbeat, but you're hearing the electrical activity near the fetal pole. According to Jennifer Wright, a heartbeat can be heard as soon as 6 weeks, and that's still extremely soon in a pregnancy. So putting a ban on abortions is not going to stop abortions. It's going to increase the risk of unsafe abortions. A lot of women will feel as though they don't have a choice, and in the past there have already been cases of women feeling as though they didn't have a choice, so they threw themselves down the stairs. In extreme situations, they drank bleach, whatever they could do because they felt like they didn't have the option to go and get the abortion. So banning abortions is just going to probably increase that overall. According to the Center for American Progress, close to 70,000 women die each year due to unsafe abortions as it is, and that's not including what's going to happen when this becomes more strict, if this becomes an issue all over America. If the threats on a woman's body are not enough to discuss about that, then there's also looking at it from the legal side of things, which is also extreme. In some situations, if a woman miscarries, then she could be charged with manslaughter. She miscarried. She didn't mean to, but she would be charged with that. Giving birth to a stillborn puts her at risk for a second-degree murder charge. So to visualize this, a woman could have just given birth. She could have been lying there excited to meet her little baby girl or baby boy, ready to raise it, and suddenly she's told that she gave birth to a stillborn and she can't have it. But before anyone can soothe her and comfort her, they're going to treat her like a criminal at first, and they're going to question her, and they need to investigate to figure out, did you do this intentionally or was this an accident? So she's going to be treated like a criminal first. And then there's also the fact that if a doctor does the procedure at a certain point after the 6-week mark, after the bill is passed in January, he could also be charged with a felony. So if he didn't know, and let's say it was maybe 6 weeks and 2 days, they will be charged with second-degree murder. However, they do consider, or they hope to consider, some situations as extreme, such as rape and incest, but that has not been fully confirmed by anybody yet. It depends on the situation. So if a woman is sexually assaulted, for example, a lot of the time the amount of stress that was placed on her body because of this and the PTSD, it's going to delay her menstrual cycle, and therefore she won't know for even longer if she's pregnant. So how is she supposed to get the abortion? So by the time she realizes, oh, I was impregnated from the rape, it'll be too late and she won't be able to have the choice for herself. And if she does figure it out in time and before the 6-week mark, then she needs to have had a rape kit done, and there needs to be documented proof from a hospital or from an ER or just anywhere that she was raped, because that way they can prove it and they can take it to a court, or they can take it to a doctor or a lawyer or something and be able to prove, okay, I was raped and I need this abortion for a reason. So even then, it's going to be extremely difficult to figure out. If a woman takes the morning after pill, a lot of the time that will throw off the menstrual cycle as well. So that once again will delay the time of trying to figure it out. So, if you don't know in time, once again, the 6 weeks, you won't be able to. Yet the thing is that once again, if your period is 6 weeks late, or by the time the 6-week mark comes on the abortion, your period is only going to be 2 weeks late. So that's really not enough time for somebody to even realize, because once again, whether it's the morning after pill or whether it's stress from an incident of sexual assault, once again, you won't realize that you were even pregnant to begin with. So also, if there's a medical emergency and the fetus is deemed medically futile, meaning that it will not be able to survive life outside of the womb, then once again you may be considered for abortion. But none of this has even been 100% confirmed yet. We are still in the process of trying to figure that out. Instead of making abortions less available, then we should make them less necessary by taking different steps to help women not need them and feel like they don't have to have them. We need better access to preventative measures. We need better public funding to birth control. It can be very expensive to any form of birth control, whether it's a pill, a patch, an IUD. It can be very expensive. And there are Planned Parenthoods, but we do need more than that, because some people, they can't access that. Maybe they live far away. Maybe there just isn't one in their city. We need to be providing information to the younger generations. Instead of teaching them don't have sex at all, we need to be teaching them about safe sex and the preventative measures that we can take to help that. And that it's not wrong, and that people will still continue to be in situations, and at least we can prepare them ahead of time. And we also need to explain to them how much an abortion even is. They can start roughly at $500, and it can only go up from there. And if that's the case, a lot of young kids don't know that until it's too late. We also need better access to emergency contraceptives. The morning after pill, the Plan B pill, those are extremely expensive. A lot of people can't afford them, and by the time they realize that they need them, it might be too late. And you can get them for free at Planned Parenthood, but once again, setting up the appointment to get that, you might not have it in time, and you have to take that very time sensitively. So we should either maybe set up a payment plan for those, or just overall make them cheaper in general, but be able to help women get access to that, so that way we don't even need abortions at the end of that. If it was cheaper, if that was cheaper, then the abortions just simply wouldn't be needed. So, in conclusion, I discussed with you the heavy restrictions that are going to be placed on abortions in this upcoming January of 2020. Hopefully it won't be the entire country, but right now it is a lot of states, and this is going to be a problem. We also discussed a lot of the options that we can do in order to help that, and although it's going to be a really long journey, we can all take necessary steps to help together to reduce the need of abortions. Even if you don't agree with abortions, at least you have the choice to believe in that. And why take the choice away from anybody else if they want to have one too? Every woman should have the choice of that. Thank you.